When Charlie Chaplin passed away, the world fell silent. The man who made the entire world laugh and cry, who touched hearts even without speaking a single word, was gone. On a cold December day in 1977, he was buried in a quiet town in Switzerland. But there was something no one knew. The real story was just beginning. 11 weeks had passed since his death, on a night no one was aware of. The entire town was asleep. The cemetery was completely silent. And Charlie Chaplin's grave was opened. 2 men dug into the ground in the darkness. They didn't care about fame, nor about history. Who was lying there meant nothing to them. All that mattered was turning it into money. They took the coffin out and disappeared. The next day, the phone of Chaplin's wife, Una Chaplin, rang. The voice was very calm, but the sentences were terrifying. Your husband is in our hands. If you want him back, there will be a price to pay. But strangely enough, when Una hung up the phone, she didn't cry. She didn't panic. She just remained silent for a long time. Then these words came from her lips. If Charlie had lived through this, he would probably laugh a lot. And of course, she refused to pay the ransom. Swiss police took over the case. Phones were tapped. Meeting points were arranged. Weeks passed. During this time, Chaplin's grave was empty. One of the most famous men in the world had turned into a ghost without even a grave. Months later, the clues that emerged led them to a cornfield. The ground was dug once again, and Chaplin's coffin was found. Chaplin was there, silent. There was no applause again. But this time, it wasn't cameras around him. It was the police. The kidnappers were later caught. One was an unemployed man, another was a car mechanic, and the other person was an ordinary immigrant worker. There was no grand plan, only desperation. Charlie Chaplin was buried once again, but this time, concrete was poured beneath the grave, so the world would never lose him again. The irony was this: the man who made people laugh his entire life turned into one of the darkest stories in the world after his death. Charlie Chaplin told his story without speaking throughout his life. After his death, he didn't say a word to anyone either. But his story whispered this: fame makes a person applauded while alive, but after death, it does not let them rest.